Gotta get a harmony going.
This is the first one we filmed. First episode, the pilot.
This episode is the pilot. It's not the pilot episode, it's an episode about a pilot.
This, whilst not the pilot, was actually the first episode we filmed. So for us, was also the pilot.
So there was a whole lengthy sequence at the beginning of this episode that was cut. That was basically 2.5 minutes of solid, unadulterated fish puns. And I think everyone who wasn't in the writing team said, well, why is this in? This isn't like the rest of the show at all. And unfortunately, those fish puns were cut, which is sad.
Oh, this is one of my favourite bits, actually. Coming up now. I've loved working with Bryony in this episode. She made me laugh a lot. But then I got to do the fun bit with the pulling down.
Oh, pointing at Hitler's...
For all the Ardennes,
There's nipple.
and right into the heart of France.
There's Todger. And that is comedy.
It was so fun coming up with that journey and looking at the actual map and then working out that his penis could be the heart of France.
This is Corporal Sky.
Sky, this is Commander Wickham. It's been too long, sweetheart.
This is, I think, my favourite scene in the whole of the series. Is
Really?
This split screen scene really makes me laugh.
I love the split screen sequence just because it's one of the best jokes in the whole series for jokes that you can only do with a camera.
Sir, now, you've been working on this code for months and still no success.
Oh, these things take time, sir.
It's so effective, that little black piece of wood just in the middle.
It's just a black piece of wood.
When you're watching this live, you know the punchline already. You can see that there's, that they're just sat next to each other. But obviously, you don't when you watch it on screen. And I think it's just really well played by Charlie and Nance as well.
I'm sending through our coordinates. He threatened to close
Jono in his element.
It's causing absolute mayhem.
So the telegraph machine was a challenging part, genuinely a challenging part, because it was very uncomfortable to be in there for a very long period of time. So I was always trying to get out whenever I could. By the end, by the time we got to filming, I'd actually made it quite comfy down there. In there I had like a little, I'd built like a little table, and I had a cup of coffee or a can of Diet Coke there. I'd made like a little thing that had a torch on, and then I'd also made a little tiny, another little thing where I got a little piece of wood, so I had a little place where I could read books, or I could make notes on the episode, depending on kind of what kind of day it was. But yeah, I mean, like rehearsing, I was just under a table for like 7 hours a day, which was just, really, really weird way to earn a living. But I suppose that's how chairs feel.
We just need to know what the German radio op signed off with.
What would any German radio operator sign off with? Heil Hitler.
I feel like that's an achievement for my career, saying Heil Hitler and looking into a camera. That'll stay with me, I imagine, on the internet forever.
Let's get to work.
Anything yet, Lieutenant?
Fun fact, I wore the same pair of boots to play Hitler that I did when I was playing Santa.
I was originally down to play Hitler as Max, and then it changed.
Like a smiley Hitler.
Smiley, happy Hitler.
She just needs a few more minutes, and we'll know if we've cracked the German code.
During filming, I had to use the bathroom, and the bathroom is just outside the studio. And I walked outside dressed as Hitler, into the toilet dressed as Hitler, and I bumped into a janitor who was very alarmed, and he packed up his cleaning things and he left, sort of disturbed. And I hope it was clear that I was playing a role.
Beep! Incoming telegram.
So I have a bit of an admission of guilt here. So when we recorded this bit on the night, we recorded quite a lengthy section without cutting. So it was quite tricky to do. And obviously I have a small role in this episode, so it wasn't too hard for me. But when it came, the moment for the machine to go beep, it didn't. And that is because the idiot inside the machine had walked off and wasn't there, and no one had checked to see whether I was there, because I had said to everyone, "You don't need to check. I know what I'm doing. I'm just going to stay in here. Please, just trust me." And then I wandered off to pop to the loo, and then I realised, oh no, I don't have time. And I heard action was shouted, and I couldn't do anything, so I was stuck on the side watching them record this whole tricky, quite long sequence. And then when the moment came for the machine to go beep, there was quite a heavy pause, or it felt heavy to me, and then I had to shuffle out from the wings, from the side of the studio, in front of a whole studio audience, and say, "Sorry, we'll have to cut there. I was trying to go to the bathroom and there wasn't time." And we had to do the whole thing again, and it was really embarrassing, because it was the first episode that we filmed of the whole series, so everyone was so focused on, getting it right, and we wanted to make sure that we didn't run out of time, and I let the side down there, so I'm sorry everyone. Obviously you all know that I'm sorry. I apologised quite a lot, but again, I'm sorry for delaying us, making us do that whole sequence again. Was better the second time though.
Attention!
I think one of Mischief's best creations to date is Nancy as Wickham.
Don't tell me you've forgotten the time.
No, it's just screaming Bosh
Smacking my arse so hard. So hard.
in character.
Oh! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was just heading upstairs to my quarters.
It's always nice, to try and work out what it would be if it hadn't gone wrong, and then try and do that as best as you can.
Yeah.
And I thought that the sort of vague love story thing in the actual Goes Right version was quite nice.
Talk of the spy hunter's imminent arrival caused tension among the team.
So this scene change, Nance doesn't get enough credit for, because she does everything she did all this in one take. Like, all the clocks, moved everything, was all done all in one shot, and you don't quite see it, but she nailed it.
It sort of harks back to the days when Annie, her Cornley character, was the stage manager in The Play That Goes Wrong.
All that work, all that secrecy, and one of our inner circle has betrayed us.
It's so embarrassing. Churchill would never get caught with his trousers down like this.
Trial down gag, always funny.
We actually had a moment here that we ended up cutting, where we had an actor playing Stalin without any trousers, who was in a TV drama they were filming in the next studio. He came in saying, "I was told to come to you for trousers," so that we just had another world leader with no trousers.
Churchill would never get caught with his trousers down like this.
I'd have to tell
But we ended up, unfortunately, cutting that for time, and so that meant that the actor we had for that had done all the rehearsals and everything, and had a costume and a Stalin wig and everything. and he never appeared. And so I just want to say, Paul, if you're watching this, I am truly sorry, because No Trousers Stalin was hilarious. I'm very sad that the world never got to see it.
If one trow down is funny, two trow downs are funny, three trow downs, very funny.
Always funny.
This was a very weird thing for me to do because, again, first episode, and I'm on screen for about 90 seconds, 2 minutes. So I spent the 3 weeks rehearsal mostly sat down and then had to come on and just kind of do it and get off. But I had a lot of fun. It's one of my favourite episodes to do.
Oh, here comes my actual corpse on screen that I can't deny.
I'm not the spy. Does that pass your damn test? To hell with the test. I don't trust you.
It's there!
To hell with the test,
And you
yeah.
can just see me go...
Oh, the handcuffs. I didn't have them on me. I had too many props. So they had to be attached to the desk.
God, I'm just laughing. I was so unprofessional. A lot of this pretending to cry is just me being like...
Damn it, we'll lose him in the clouds!
Cloud
Yeah.
business.
I enjoyed the clouds.
Sexy
was
cloud
fun.
for Sandra.
Sexy cloud.
She takes it seriously.
We did a lot more cloud stuff, but there wasn't time for it. We had to cut a lot of
Yeah,
it.
we had more cloud stuff.
Trevor's little mini cloud on his head.
I've never seen such skill!
I always wonder with this bit, you know, had it gone right, did the Cornley Polytechnic ever think it was going to be good?
Look, there's a visitor here to see us.
Mr. Churchill!
Greg in a fat suit, still thinner than me. Livid.
Another excellent performance from Greg Tannehill.
Yeah, again, comes in right at the end, doesn't have much to do, but absolutely nails it.
Or should I say, the king?
The king is a funny line.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
She hates being picked up, so, oh, there's a cat there. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Greg's performance as Churchill is one of my favourite things, not just in this show, but in any show. I think it's a great, even though this was the first episode in the end that we showed, I think it's a fun extension to the game of Jonathan not being able to get in a scene. The idea that he can't get out of his Churchill mask to reveal himself.
Except, I'm not the real Winston Churchill. I'm Winston Churchill.
Him trying to pull his weird prosthetics off. So he had to do 2 takes, he had to do a fake one, which is the one that we used, where he's trying to pull it off, because they don't want to have to reset prosthetics. And then they do one where he actually pulls the prosthetics off.
Oh yeah, but wasn't that too
It
disturbing?
was decided that the prosthetics are so real that when he pulled them off, it was like he was peeling off his face.
Yeah, and it wasn't funny anymore. It's just like really, really disturbing.
Nine, I'm not the real Winston. I'm not the real.
I just really love that. And also just the end of the actual story of the pilot is just crazy. Like what? It's just such a crazy twist. And I love how because he can't reveal his face, the whole story of the play, within the play, is totally altered and just totally ruined.
I'm Winston Churchill.
Yeah, it has a war-y type thing.
Yeah. Every time. They change him. Oh, no,
Oh,
it's
it's
still
long
going.
enough.
It's going.